Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Identity Court podcast. I'm your host, Victoria Emmanuel, and this is episode 7. Today, we'll be talking about another sensitive topic that is peculiar to our identity, and that is multitasking and overtasking. Multitasking and overtasking. So, when it comes to multitasking is the ability to take up a lot of things and do at the same time. And in this case, we kind of like still bring out the quality and the efficiency in those work or in that particular um, work you're doing. But overtasking on the other hand involve taking too many tasks at once, and eventually this can be overwhelming and then affect productivity. So in this case, the quality and the efficiency will not be found in what you are doing again. So let me cite an example. An example of multitasking would be probably listening to music and then, working on your computer, or let me even use our day-to-day activities. Women are quite good multitasker. They kind of like they are wired to take up a lot of things and then they do it efficiently at the same time. The woman can be cooking and then still helping the child with the homework, or you know, and then they and both will actually come out nice. So multitasking is doing a lot of things that you are capable of doing at the same time. And overtasking would now be you doing more than you can actually handle, or trying to do too many big things at the same time. And in this case, efficiency will be gone. An example of probably overtasking would be maybe you are working on a particular project and then you take up another big project within the same time frame, and you had to like maybe submit or finish both projects within the same time frame. This happens a lot with our Nigerian tailors. They kind of like overtask. When you overtask, you probably be born out one, you won't meet up to time, and you even disappoint others. So overtasking is a no-no. And multi and a lot of people mix overtasking with multitasking. They believe they are multitasking while they are already overtasking. So you need to like know how much you can take within a particular time frame and then work towards that. Don't overtax, don't take up too much responsibility more than you can handle within a particular time frame. So how then do we balance multitasking and overtasking? The Bible says that seest thou a man diligent in his business, he will stand before kings and not me in mine. So people have misinterpreted this. Some people now believe overtasking is being diligent. You can be diligent and then not overtask. In fact, diligence in this case has to do with excellence, because when you overtask, you end up losing that excellence you are trying to portray, or that diligence you are trying to portray. So diligence is not overtasking. Diligence is the ability to portray that excellence in whatever you do. And this means that you must know how much you can take in, how much you can handle within a particular time frame, and do it efficiently. And that will be multitasking, right? So there is a way to balance multitasking and then overtasking. And the first thing is to prioritize your task. Prioritize your task. Like I said, know how much you can take in, and then know the most important one at a particular time. If you know that at this time you need to work on this particular project because the time is nearer, don't and you know this is actually going to take much of your time. Don't take up another big one that will now start distracting you, and then you would not be able to focus on what is important, or you will start weighing what is important and what is not, while both of them are actually important at that particular time. So prioritize your task and don't overdo it. Another thing is set realistic goals. I used to say this a lot. Set realistic goals. Don't lie to yourself. You know how much you can take in. So lying to yourself will not do. Set realistic goal. Know how much you can take in, and then work towards your deadline. Set achievable goals. Achievable ones, in quote, achievable. It has to be achievable. Then limit distractions as much as you can. Limit distraction as much as you can. In this case, it means that if you have to designate time to do a particular task, designate it, and then work towards it. If you have to cut off some things that are really not necessary, or maybe assign it to others, make sure you do that. That would help you in finishing your task at the appropriate time with efficiency and the quality being retained. Another thing is break task into smaller steps. Break your task into smaller steps. Again, I repeat, don't overdo it. Break it into, no matter how large a task is, it can be managed into smaller chunks, and then you start taking it one step at a time, and this can help you to prevent overtasking. Sometimes when a task is too big, you might start doing a lot of things at the same time if you don't actually break them into smaller chunks, which will enable you to actually know the first step to take, the next step, the next step. So if you break it into smaller steps, it's quite easier to manage, and then it's achievable that way. Another thing is practice time management technique. Practice time management technique. So in this case, I'm saying that organize and maintain a healthy balance between your task. So know that, okay, when it is time to do this, it is time to do this. When it is time to do a particular task, don't start thinking about other tasks. Don't start thinking about other tasks that you need to do. Focus. Make sure that your time is managed well. That time you've allotted for this particular task, make sure that it is for that task. Make sure that that time allotted is for that task. You do it efficiently, and dedicate that particular time to it. So if you are thinking about other tasks that you need to do when you're already on one task, you end up not even achieving that one very well, or not or not being efficient in that one. At the end of the day, you find that you didn't even finish it because you've distracted yourself with other tasks at hand. But when you set out time for each task, you know that, okay, the other tasks also have their allotted time, so definitely you come to them. And also, finally, take breaks. Don't burn yourself out. I think taking breaks actually helps in managing tasks very well. Sometimes when we take too many tasks, we tend to burn ourselves out and not even achieving what we had proposed to achieve. So learn how to take short breaks between your tasks, and don't overdo it. Like I said, being diligent does not mean you should burn yourself out. Being diligent does not mean you should overtask. Like I said, mostly overtasking is taking too many big tasks and wanting to do it within the same time frame. It won't work that way. It won't work that way. So I hope that this particular episode helps you, and then teach you how to balance multitasking and overtasking. Remember not to overtask, but you can multitask. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.